Here with some quick tips that you can use next time you're looking for a contractor. These tips are so crucial, I don't want anyone to hire a contractor before hearing this. Number one. We've been programmed to always get at least 3 bids, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I also want to give you permission to say yes when you find the contractor you want. Remember, it might be a few weeks or more before a good contractor is available to start working, and the sooner you decide, the sooner the project starts moving forward. Number two. Ask the contractor to write down everything that's included. This forces the contractor to think what else is part of the project and what could potentially come up. Additionally, ask the contractor what is not included. This too will force the contractor to think about items of the project that may not be included. Number three. Get it in writing for how long the job will take. Just understand that this is a reference, not an exact timeline, because no two houses or projects are the same. If you think you need a penalty clause for the job taking too long, then be prepared for paying a bonus clause if the project finishes early. Number four. Look for a contractor who's solution-minded. And what I mean by that is look for someone who identifies and solves problems instead of placing blame. Before you hire someone, ask what happens when a job goes wrong. Great contractors will have great answers. Number five. You don't necessarily want to hire the cheapest or the most expensive contractor. The cheapest contractors are more likely to cut corners, while the most expensive are not necessarily performing the best work. That's why more often than not, the best value comes from contractors who are priced in the middle of the road. If you like these tips, I've got a whole hour of home improvement advice coming your way. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com. When there's work to be done around or in your home, when there's money to be spent, you don't want to go wrong. What you don't know can hurt you. We're people you can trust. All your home improvement needs. Get advice from us. What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com.
It's the weekend. Last weekend of the year. Perfect time to hire it done, right? Good morning, everyone. My name's Adam Helfman. Today and every Saturday, we're going to be talking about critical topics related to your home and meeting some of the most interesting, influential, and personable players throughout the home improvement industry. Remember, what you don't know can hurt you. And I'm here to teach you everything that I know. And so I know home improvement. I was born and raised in the industry. Fourth generation contractor. I've built and remodeled over 10,000 homes. It's a lot. And boy, it doesn't stop adding up. I continue to consult and oversee flipping homes, property management, and renovation projects for select homeowners. And we have the website, HireItDone.com, that helps you get all the contractors you'll ever need and help you hire it done so you have a hassle-free home improvement. That's the best part. And that's what we want to do. We want to share with you all this knowledge and all this information. And coming up on today's show, we got a pretty good roster here. I got Gary Bulson from Men on the Move. He's a moving company. And we're going to talk about moving tips, planning a move. Should you move out during a renovation? Can you hire a moving company to do that? Or what about moving in the winter? Is that a good time, bad time? Can you save money? We're going to ask him all those questions. Later on, I got Gary Shelly of Running Right Heating and Cooling. He'll be joining me as well. And I'm going to be talking about high-efficiency furnaces. What's the best furnace in your home? Trending in what kind of trends in basements? Finishing a basement? Do we have trends? Yeah, we do. It's going to be a big project next year. And I want to go into the mailbag question for this week. So let's go to the mailbag.
Let's go to the mailbag, brought to you by the UPS Store. The UPS Store. Pack, ship, print, mailboxes, and more.
Dear Adam, my wife and I are planning a kitchen remodel next year and are currently in the process of picking out a backsplash, amongst other things. My question is, how important is it to pay attention to the current trends when making our selections if we want to preserve our home's resale value? Interesting question. So trends. You want to be trendy? No problem. Buy white cabinets or gray cabinets and you're trendy. Because that's the color that everyone seems to think they want this time of year or this year, in the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Get a shaker cabinet. That's what a lot of people want. But how about first putting something in is a backsplash that you want, that you like. The average homeowner spends 5 to 8 years in a house. And really, it should be about your enjoyment in the house. Now, if you're really worried about the resale value, do you think your backsplash is going to make an impact in 7 years, 5 years from now? It's possible. But remember, when somebody walks into a house that's for sale, they look at the kitchen. The first thing they do is look at the cabinets. They look and see if it's got granite. All that is a combination and how it meshes together. And homeowners buy houses looking for things that they're going to change and customize. So my answer is pretty easy. I think you should buy the backsplash that you feel matches your kitchen, makes it more of a beautiful kitchen, and you enjoy personally. That's the first thing I want you to do. After that, it's not a problem. After that, then you can get the backsplash you want. So that's all you really need to do. That's best thing for you. Now, if you ever have a question for me, always go to hireitdone.com, click on Ask Adam, or Adam at hireitdone. It's my email address. And of course, we want to help you, right? We want to get you in front of good contractors. We also want to give you the best advice for hassle-free home improvement. That's the key. Having a hassle-free home improvement, hiring a contractor is the best thing. People have two fears. One, they're going to get ripped off, and two, they're going to overpay. Who does that? Well, I got to be honest with you. A lot of people do that. And so it's important that you as a homeowner are ready and prepared for the right contractor. And you got to ask the right questions. You really do have to ask the right questions. And the point I'm making is what are the questions to ask? Because, contractors are going to say yes to almost everything just to get your business. So you got to ask intriguing, you got to ask probing questions, you got to ask him questions that are going to make him think. And that's why I, as a homeowner, always, or as a home improvement expert, also give you questions and tell you, listen, get everything in writing. And everyone says, oh yeah, well, I'm going to get everything in writing. But then after you get it in writing, have the contractor put everything not included in writing. Think about that. That's important. And I'm thinking maybe you might want to do it that way because you might have some good feedback and some good information that comes back to you from the contractor. And that's the whole point. We just want you to understand that having a renovation project start on the right foot is all the best thing to do. So we want you to have a good time with that. We want you to have a good home improvement. That's how we roll here. So again, Adam at hireitdone.com is our email address, or info at hireitdone. I don't know that. Just go to my website. You'll be able to find it. Coming up next, I'm going to give you everything you need to know about high efficiency furnaces. I'm Adam Helfman, and you're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network. Good morning. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. I know that people love hardwood floors. Pre-finished, resurfacing them, engineered, done right, it's fun. And that's okay. They're more popular than ever with so many styles and materials available. We have some great flooring companies in Hire It Done. Dedicated Flooring is a new one. Just joined the team. And we're going to be talking a lot about the trends in flooring because it's one of the fastest growing parts of home improvement, believe it or not. Anyways, there's a lot of styles available. And they look great in the real estate photos. They also look great in home improvement magazines, of course. And it's a great time to love hard floors, but it's also a great time to love your carpet. And if you know one thing about this show, you know that I'm like a carpet guy. Not a Joey Zago carpet guy, although he's a good guy too. I like carpeting. I like my toes to be in the carpet. I got to have it in my house. That's just how I am. And there's been great advancements in carpet as well as microfibers. With colors and styles, and it's easier. By the way, part of the design in the evolution of carpet is the way they design it to be cleaned easy. Think about that. Easier to clean. We've come a long way from the shag carpet in the 70s, although shag's coming back. And being a guy that has no hair, I like a little shag. Anyways, so why does carpet still take a back seat? Well, I think it's a little bit gets a bad rap. Sometimes home buyers see carpet and they worry, is it going to smell? Do the previous owners have pets? When in reality, carpet is one of the biggest air filters in a home and can drastically improve the air's quality in a home. However, just like any other part of the home, carpet needs to be maintained properly, which means cleaning. That's why I went to the pros at Night Owl Express Carpet Cleaning. They're one of our hired done contractors. And I get content from my show from my pros, right? The reason why I'm talking about this is because I want to give them credit for this because I'm not making this up. This is from the guy who's out on the job every day. And I asked him, how often should carpet really be cleaned?
Do this. Take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create new jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Hi, Samantha here with Henderson Glass, your Michigan glass expert since 1915. Did you know that our qualified professionals can help determine if your windshield can be repaired or should be replaced in order to get you back on the road quickly and safely? As a general rule, if the chip in your windshield is bigger than a quarter, the windshield should be replaced. Many insurance companies will waive the deductible on your comprehensive coverage for a windshield repair. Call us at 1-800-ASK-GLASS to ask if you qualify, or visit hendersonglass.com.
What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com.
Welcome back. This is Hired Done. My name's Adam Helfman. I want to take a quick moment to talk about Salt Sale Saturdays at Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions. They're in Brighton and now open in Waterford. Every Saturday you get DuraCube regular at an unbelievably low price of $5.99 a bag, 40-pound bag that is. You get the DuraCube Red out for $6.99 a bag if you have a little bit of rust in your water. And, of course, potassium chloride for $19.99 a bag, plus 5 gallons of bottled water for $2.99 each. I'll tell you what, if you have a water softener in your house and you want one, these guys are really good at water softening and water filters. I have them put one in my house before they became partners with Hired Done, and I love it. Literally, like, I look forward to drinking that water. Anyways, it's time to go green.
It's time for Going Green with Hire It Done. Brought to you by Consumers Energy, Business Energy Efficiency Programs.
Even though it's been on the warmer side the last couple of weeks, I got to be honest with you, cold weather's always right around the corner, and this morning is the start of it, is I can tell you. This time of year when a lot of furnaces are breaking down, you need to be repaired or replaced. And one of the key questions I get from homeowners are who in the market for a new furnace is whether or not they should opt for a high-efficiency furnace, or if so, how high-efficiency should you go? Today, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about shopping for a furnace. And later on in the hour, don't forget, we have a heating and cooling contractor who's going to either dispute or validate these claims of mine, which makes sense. So let me start by taking for a moment when to get a new furnace. If your furnace is 15 years or older, an upgrade is definitely worth considering. 15 years ago was 2004. right? 2005. And you had high-efficiency furnaces then. Now, what's changed 15 years from now? All kinds of electronics, that's for sure. Variable speed blowers and modulating gas valves. Those are now in the mainstream, and the efficiency of the furnace has gotten better. Now, depending on the fix is another thing. But here's the thing. At the very least, understand that the age, it's not if you'll replace a furnace, it's when. Remember, a furnace has working parts, moving parts, fan blowers, and things like that. Part of your plan should include yearly furnace tune-ups with a licensed contractor, of course, but you really need to make sure that an older furnace is operating safely. Not properly, safely. Think about that. There's a difference. As a rule of thumb, if the cost of repair is more than 30% of the cost of upgrading to a new furnace, then you're better off replacing the unit. So let's say a new furnace today, high efficiency, is $5,000. Just the furnace. If the cost of replacing the furnace is 15% or 30%, that's 5,000 times 3 is $1,500. So if the $1,500 replacement, if the replacement costs that, then what? You should consider a new furnace because the savings on your monthly bill will almost pay for the new one. So you really got to check that out. And once you know you need a new furnace, now you have to decide on whether or not you want to buy a high efficiency model or a super high efficiency model. You know, there's a furnace company out there. I won't name their name because they're a good company. Don't get me wrong. But their attitude is we're going to sell you a furnace what we think you need. And sometimes they're just going to sell a homeowner an 80% furnace. Now, how do you buy an 80% furnace today? They have a decent argument about why you should, but I got to be honest with you. We should always try and save money. We should always try and use less energy. I mean, on the whole theme of going green, we want to use less energy. Why not be more efficient? Go more with less. So here's the thing. High efficiency means lower cost of operating your unit, right? An 80% furnace or a 95% furnace. Now they have them 97, 98%. That's some crazy efficiency. But let's talk about an 80% furnace really quick. 80% efficiency furnace means that 20% of the energy produced will be expelled as exhaust right out the chimney. 20%. It's a lot of waste. So you might want to check that out. And by the way, we have a contractor coming on who's a heating cooling from Running Right later on this morning. And I think that you'll probably enjoy a good conversation with them about that. And so if you have questions, you can text us 97136 about your furnace. What happens in the wintertime? Why does it always break when it's the coldest day of the year? How do you handle that? That's the key. So now, what about a crawl space? What if you have a furnace in a crawl space? There's some benefits there, right? There's a lot of things. You know, furnace installation, if you have a 95% efficiency furnace, what it uses, they call it what's called closed combustion. You'll typically see a PVC air intake and outtakes outside. You know, they vent out with the white plastic pipes, basically, the PVC. Anyways, the point is, if your furnace is vented into a crawl space or attic, then the installation unit is a little bit trickier. Now, there's combustion air, there's makeup air, there's fresh air. There's all kinds of ways we're going to talk about it. And we're going to drill down in all of those segments later on in the hour. But just for the sake of getting a new furnace, I'm going to tell you my recommendation is go with the highest efficiency that you can afford. According to Matt Hall, he says 80% furnace is just as efficient nowadays. Save your money. Interesting topic. I'm going to bring that up to a contractor later. See what he says. Anyways, that's what we need to make sure that you know, and then you do that. So how do you find a good furnace company? How do you know? Here's one of the scams that goes on in the furnace business, the heating and cooling companies. One of the scams is where the guy comes to your house and says, "Oh my God, Mrs. Homeowner, I have to condemn your furnace." And you're like, "What do you mean condemn my furnace?" He goes, "Well, we just tested it. It's leaking carbon monoxide. You could die from that." Now, tell me, are you going to freak out? Homeowners freak out from that. That's the problem. They freak out. So how do you, how do you do that? How do you pick the right contractor? How do you know if he's telling you the truth? And the key is, do this. Ask him to prove it to you. Say to him, what do you mean? Because what they'll say is, once you have the carbon monoxide problem and the green goop and all that he's telling you, he's also going to say, he's going to follow it up with, oh my God, we happen to have a very good furnace in one of our trucks that's not too far away. I can have him deliver it. And how about that? What do you do then? What do you do then? Well, here's what you do. You send them out of your house and tell them to go. You tell them to leave. That's what you do. So that's important. Now, finding a contractor is another hard way to go. But at HireItDone.com, we have the pre-screen contractors, because here's what we want them to do. We want them to tell you what's wrong with your furnace, what the new furnace can do for you, how much you can save every month, and how much does it cost. Keep it simple, because here's the thing. Trane, Lennox, Bryant, American Standard, whatever it is, Carrier, any of those brands, if they're installed properly, they're done right. And that's the best thing. The best furnace for your house, my friends, according to me, is the one that's installed properly. That's the key. Coming up later in the hour, we have a heating and cooling coming. We're going to do a deep dive for that as well. But coming up next, Gary Bulson from Men on the Move. You want to move this winter? You want to move in the spring? How do you plan for it? Is there a better time of year to move? Well, we're going to talk about it when Gary and I come right back when we come back. I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network.
HireItDone.com.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Great show so far this morning. Lots of information. Lots of good stuff. So, being from Michigan, Flint is right 45 minutes away from here. Water quality, water issues is on the top of everyone's list. And you know what? What I'm hearing is that there's a lot of cities out there that are having problems with water. So what is a homeowner to do? What do? You got city water? Do you put a little filter on the tap? What's the right way to do it? So instead of me coming out and blabbing a bunch of stuff that I did research on, I'm bringing the experts in studio right now. And people that I've known for a while. And they're also partners with Hire It Done. So let's just get right to the good content. We've got Jared Beauchamp and Scott Brackenridge from Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions in studio. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
How are you all today?
Great.
Doing well.
You came to the right spot,
Yeah.
which is always a good thing. So, Jared, since your last name is Beauchamp and it just happens to be the name of the company, why don't you introduce yourself to the Hire It Done audience? Tell everyone a little bit about you and your company.
Jared Beauchamp. Our families have been in the water treatment industry since 1976. My dad got into the business basically based off a need. We moved out to well water with a high iron content, and my mom wasn't going to deal with her rusty colored hair anymore and her expensive hair treatments. So
That's funny.
Hence the reason we started living the dream of water treatment. And
So water treatment is usually, it started out when people had well water.
Yep.
And so in water that comes fresh out of the ground is a lot of minerals. And one of the major minerals is iron. And that's what causes the rust, correct?
Correct.
And so that rust is the stains around the toilet, on the sink, the faucets, and then, of course, in your hair.
Yep.
So you guys have a system that treats the water before it gets there.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so can you breakdown for us, and maybe, Scott, you could do this, the basics of a water softener? Why do they call it softener? Is it soften the water?
It actually takes minerals out of the water. It's an ion exchange process.
Yeah.
You're replacing a sodium ion with a calcium ion. Pretty basic. You do feel the difference of soft water. Hard water, you get that sticky feel, where soft water, it feels more slippery. You're feeling your natural body oils and things like that. If you don't treat well water, you will ruin appliances. You'll obviously stain everything, tile, toilets, fixtures, clothing. A lot of people don't realize with hard water the effects of everything it does. And when you're shaving, you're washing clothes, all that stuff is affected by hard water, and with iron, obviously.
So it's hard on your clothes. It's like
it's your skin's dry, hair's dry, clothing, the materials wear out on it. And of course, I always look at a water softener as probably your main appliance you should have in the house on well water, because you're going to spend a lot of money on your fixtures, toilets, appliances. What are you protecting it with? And that's the one thing people forget about, is that should be the first thing they should be thinking about.
You know what? It's interesting. And I'm glad you put it that way, because it is important. Mm-hmm. And, since they've had the water, like the lead water crisis in Flint from years back, and now we're seeing that they're testing lead and they're trying to keep it on the hush-hush. But
Mm-hmm.
a lot of communities are testing lead a lot higher. And people who have water softeners. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Do you trust the plan? I do. We've got Gary Bulson from Men on the Move in studio. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Adam.
How are you?
I am wonderful, thanks.
Glad to have you here. How was
Last
your holiday?
Saturday of the decade.
Can you the decade, not of the year, but of the decade. Whoa, what are we going to do?
I don't know. Blow it up.
So, did you have a good Christmas?
I did, thanks.
We
have part 2 Christmas today.
Really?
We do.
Ooh, part 2. Give me part 2. What's that?
We have, my stepdaughter and her boyfriend, and my daughter and her boyfriend, and my father-in-law and his girlfriend. And
So you got a little bit of an expanded Christmas. I'm kind of jealous, to be honest.
Get good food again.
Well, here's the thing. I'm Jewish. So for me, it's like Hanukkah. And as a kid, I used to be all upset with my parents. I'm like, we got, Santa Claus. What's up with that? My mom looked at me and she goes, let me tell you something, son. It's Christmas every day for you. As much as I liked hearing that, it wasn't good enough.
Right.
So I just said, you know what? I'm going to celebrate Christmas. So I get gifts and I like all that. And you know what? I had a good time.
There's nothing wrong with being diverse.
I try. Listen, I'm the Jew who eats bacon anyway. So it's all good.
Nothing wrong with that either.
I'm an equal opportunity person.
I hear you.
So, Gary, Men on the Move is the Hire It Done pre-screen mover. You do fantastic work, by the way. The raving reviews from all our clients. Thank you, by the way.
Thank you.
Is 2020 going to be a big year for you?
You know what? I'm looking that it is. I bought my partner out in March of 2019, and I've got new things on the horizon, making some changes to better the company and expand the company. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I like that. Thank you very much. So people, typically moving is like a spring, summer thing, right? In the fall. This time of year, people aren't moving over Christmas, New Year's, are they?
Yeah, we actually we're up about probably 15% from where we were last December. I mean, things have been going pretty good. The economy's pretty good. People are moving. We've got, my guys we got 4 trucks out today, and New Year's Eve we got 4 trucks out on New Year's Eve day. So it's we're still hopping.
That's interesting. And I guess that makes sense. You can move any time of the year, I guess.
Correct.
It don't matter.
Yeah, the only time in the last 28 years, the only time we haven't moved somebody is actually on Christmas Day. Every other holiday, Thanksgiving, we've moved people in the past.
And so you don't have a problem doing that as long as it's planned properly?
Yeah, I mean, as long as my guys, I have a couple of guys that are willing to work. I mean, I put it in their court. I mean,
you guys want to work,
right?
You get paid a little extra,
right? And then we'll do the job for them. If my guys, don't want to work, they want to spend the time with their families or whatever. I mean, that comes first.
Gotcha. Makes sense to me. We're talking with Gary Bulson. The company's called Men on the Move. His website is MichiganMovers.com. Someone wants to move in the springtime. Is now the time to plan it? They should call you now and you have like a planning kit and help with tips and all that?
I mean, they should make an initial phone call at least, ask a couple questions that might be on their mind, ask how the process works. Our website does a pretty good job of explaining that as well. If you don't want to talk to somebody on the phone, go to the website. We even have an online quote form on the website that they can fill out a quote at 3 a.m. if they want, and within 24 hours, they'll get a price back on their move.
Oh, that's even better. So the website's is www.michiganmovers.com. So Gary, let's give some tips to the homeowners right now who are, there's all kinds of moves. There's moving to a new house. There's moving out, downsizing. There's moving out, renovation, meaning the big renovation job. Let's talk about that one because since I know a lot of contractors, and I talked to other contractors and they said, yeah, we need a name of a good moving guy. So it's going to be good for you because the bigger projects are on the horizon this year.
Right.
Where I tell a homeowner if the project is a major remodel, it's better to move out because the job goes smoother, faster, but at the same time, you're not living in all the schmutz, the dust, the mess. So, Gary, if someone calls you and they say, listen, we're renovating our house, we want to move out 6 months, 3 months, 9 months, whatever it is, we want you, Gary, to store our stuff and then deliver it and re-put it back out. Is that something you can do?
We certainly can do that. We have a 9,000 square foot warehouse located in Livonia, Michigan, and we can pick up your items for your house, deliver it to our warehouse. We pad everything up, put it in a secure storage unit, and then when you're ready for your items, just give us a call and we'll schedule that to bring it back. But also one of the things that we do that a lot of companies don't is we have no move time minimums. We have a travel fee, which gets us to and from the job. But if it only takes 15 minutes when we're there, you're only billed for the 15 minutes, where a lot of the other moving contractors will charge a 3 and 4 hour minimum.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. So when you say a moving minimum and they charge 3 or 4 hours, if you get a job done in 2 hours, that's it. You're charging just for the 2 hours.
And we bill by the quarter hour, where a lot of other companies charge every 30 minutes as well. So, if it's 10 after 8, they're billed them till 8:30. We bill them to 8:15.
That's nice. So there's actually some money to
And again, the reason we do it is we have the philosophy is especially a lot of times you'll have seniors that might not have family in the area or whatever that need help. If we go out there and, help them move, say, a dresser from the basement to the upstairs or whatever, they're going to remember that we took care of them, and then they're going to recommend us to their family and friends. And that's what we're here. We're here for the long term, not here for the short term buck.
Which is the way it should be, I think. All right, so let's walk through a move from the start to the end. I go online. I get a quote from you online. And I'm moving from Canton to Clarkston. Not too close, but not too far. You give me an X amount of move. Before I move, and I say, listen, I got a 2,500 4-bedroom house. I got 3 kids. I got everything, a full garage full of bikes, and I got a loaded house.
Right.
And then I say, I'm going to move to this new house. Do you have to come out to the house to inspect it before the move starts, or is it an optional thing?
It's an optional thing. I would say probably 8 out of 10 times we do not come out and do an on-site inspection. We try to be very thorough on the phones, going through the checklist with people in case, I forgot about the shed out back, or I forgot about the play set and stuff. So we try to be very thorough about that. If somebody, really wants us to come out, we'll do our best to come out and do that for them. But like I said, we a lot of times we'll go out there and people will say that they're going to move all their boxes. Well, then moving day comes, and then we find out that, Adam's truck broke down, that was pickup truck that was going to move the boxes or whatever, and they didn't move them. So we try to be flexible. It's billed by the hour. We don't do flat fees.
Okay, which makes sense. So the key for the homeowner is to be strictly honest with you on everything that you have. And of course, there's always stuff missed. But I guess the onus is on you, men on the move, when you obviously have a conversation with the homeowner over the phone ahead of time.
Correct.
And you say, listen, Mrs. Homeowner, and tell me if I'm right or wrong. Thanks for contacting us. We got your move quote in. We've got you scheduled, for the 5th of the month, blah, blah, blah. But let's go through the checklist together. Then you say, you told me you have 3 kids. Is that true? You got 3 full bedrooms. You're moving these boxes. Is that correct? Okay. How about who's boxing and taping and, and all that? Because you guys will box stuff up too, right?
Correct. We will. We offer packing service as well. And we offer, some people like to pack themselves. We also offer supplies. And with a $75 order, we free delivery for the supplies to your home as well.
Which makes perfect sense.
And when they do submit a quote, if we don't hear back from the customer within a day, 2 days after the quote's submitted, we call them and let them know what the price is and ask them if they have any questions or if they're ready to make a decision yet. And if they say, we're still thinking about it, still accepting other quotes, we say, okay, just give us a holler back when you're ready. And it's no pressure, but like I said, we like to call them to make sure they got their price back okay, because sometimes it goes into their spam folder and they might have thought we forgot about them. So we do that follow-up call.
So you're thorough. That's the key, because the last thing you need is, let's talk about the psychology of the moving day. It's a calm, breezy on the beach day.
Correct.
Homeowners have straight up anxiety.
Right.
There's tension. There's all kinds of stuff.
And then you add factors in like kids and pets, and I mean, it even escalates it even more.
Right.
And plus, you don't know why they're moving. I mean, it could be a happy situation or it could be a sad situation. So, my guys never know what kind of situation a lot of times they're getting into until that day. So they have to be diverse to try to handle the situation in certain ways as well. Also, we try to make sure up front too, are you going to be disassembling your beds, taking mirrors off dressers, or is that what you'd like us to do?
Is that part of your question?
Yeah, there's no extra charge per se. It's just the amount of time that it
right,
takes.
And you charge by the quarter hour.
Right,
so.
It takes more time, so that's why we want to get as accurate a quote as we can. And one thing that's important, I've had this happen several times, where somebody will get a quote from us. I had one not too long ago, and the quote was $950. And it was a friend of mine through the JCs, and they said, well, I got this quote from XYZ Movers, and they were only $725, and I'm like, something's not right here. And so anyways, they went with XYZ Movers instead of me, and I seen a Facebook post that she had posted a couple days after her move, how furious she was that her move cost $1,025, and my point here is we don't lowball jobs just to get them. We try to provide you with the most accurate quote as possible. Sometimes we might even up it a little bit just to make sure we cover our butts. And I'd rather have somebody expect $1,000 and have it be $925 than tell them $900 and have it be $1,000, because a lot of people are in budgets.
That's what I like. Let's take a quick break. We're with Gary Bulson, Men on the Move. We're talking moving, getting it done right, hiring it done right. It's the best. We'll be right back. I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network.
HireItDone.com. When there's work to be done around or in your home, when there's money to be spent, you don't want to go wrong. We're people you can trust. What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com.
Good morning. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. It's a great morning. It's funny how people think, just because you're a licensed roofer, let's use that as an example, and you've been working for years not being licensed, and all of a sudden you become licensed, that you're as good as anyone else. There's so many components in becoming a good contractor. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're licensed and insured doesn't mean you're good. It's a balance. It's a combination of all the ingredients of success. Are you solution-minded? Are you going to solve problems, or are you going to blame other people? Are you customer-oriented? Do you have bedside manner that actually talks to a homeowner the way it should be? I mean, I have a friend who just bought a house in Royal Oak, custom home. Shy of $1 million. In Royal Oak. Beautiful house. The builder, the owner, great guy. His project manager's walking through doing a punch list, and he has no bedside manner. Rude, dismissive, talks down to the homeowner. I'm there, and I'm thinking to myself, what the hell? This guy is single-handedly ruining the builder's reputation. And you would think that the owner and the builder would address this. And so I just told my friend, I said, listen, keep your mouth shut. Let the guy do what he's going to do. And then let the action speak louder than the words. But at the end of the day, when you're done and you're satisfied, which you will be, tell the builder. Say, hey, I got to talk to you. Your guy did this, and this. And you can say to the builder, look, in today's society where people put reviews and homeowners base their selection of the builder based on the other homeowners, this guy doesn't realize he's playing with fire. His project manager is talking in a way that the homeowner's like, I don't want to be I would never have bought a house if I knew this guy was going to be the one talking to me. It's not right. So being a good builder, being a good contractor, being a good remodeler is a combination of everything. It's not just because you do good work. You have to communicate, and the people look at you and say, yeah, I like this guy. I want to do this business with this guy. The end result has to be good. So I just want you to know, finding a contractor is all about communication. It's all about doing your due diligence. That's why Hire It Done exists. I don't just charge contractors to pay me to be on Hire It Done. You have to pass my pre-screening.
Try to take care of them and have plans ahead of time to take care of that.
Which makes perfect sense. Okay. Typical move is a half a day, full day. What is a typical? Do you have an average?
There's really no such thing as a typical day, but I would say on average 6 to 7 hours.
Okay.
Complete.
And then how often do homeowners add the packing feature where you're going to pack them up?
Not too often. I mean, because a lot of times packing can cost just as much as the move. So people look at it as, hey, this is something that I'm going to plan out over time. Like you said, if you know that you're going to move 3 or 4 months out, just do a little at a time so you don't overwhelm yourself. That's the best way to do it. Pack a box or two a day of things that you know that aren't going to use. I mean, I moved into my house in Farmington Hills 4 years ago, and I still have 50 boxes packed in my garage that I haven't unpacked yet. So there's a lot of things that you can pack months prior, that you're not going to need.
Okay. And isn't this a good time for a homeowner to get rid of stuff? Yeah. You said declutter. Yeah. I almost think that, you know what, Gary, this is a great idea. Put a little mental note here. When you come back and do the co-host with me, we're going to have a dumpster company here.
Okay.
Because the dumpster company, one of the ones that we're working with, also offers 2 men to throw the stuff in the dumpster for you. So not only are you going to put a little dumpster next to your moving truck, but they're going to have 2 men standing there saying, okay, what? You're going to point, put that in the moving truck, put that in the dumpster. How exciting is that? Maybe you should add that service for an extra $500-$600. Not only will my movers move stuff in the truck, but then they'll move the schmutz, the debris, the scoots into the dumpster. It's like feeding fish mayonnaise and becoming tuna fish.
Again, I would do it the same. I would handle it the same way as packing. It's probably best to come out the day before and get rid of the stuff that you want to declutter, we'll call it.
Oh, so
into
there
the
you
dumpster.
go.
And then the next day when the movers come in, they've got a nice fresh house to work with.
I love that.
And that way they can also, if they start to declutter and they have a lot of time left in the day, say it only takes a couple hours to declutter, they can prep for the next day. Maybe they can disassemble some things or whatever.
So that's called the VIP package. The Hire It Done Men on the Move VIP moving package includes a dumpster, includes day 1 of decluttering, day 2 of the move, and then the optional day 3 of unpacking. I know people that come
and day 2, maybe we can, get together with a pizza company and give them a nice big pizza dinner that night so they don't have to worry about dinner either.
Ooh, what kind of pizza do you like?
Sausage and mushrooms is probably my favorite.
Where's your pizza place? Where's your go-to pizza place? Everyone knows the rules, right? One bite. Everyone knows the rules.
I like Uncle Andy's in Farmington Hills.
Pizza review time. Uncle Andy's? Yeah. Where's that?
That's right on Orchard Lake Road in 10 Mile. Very good pizza.
Text me 97136 where the best pizza in Metro Detroit is. You think Uncle Andy's? What kind is it?
From my house,
is it a round?
They have deep dish. They have round. They have square. They have wings that are really good.
I love pizza.
It's been a while since I've been down there, but if Pizzapopolis is still in Detroit, that's probably
there's one in Long Lake and Telegraph right by my house.
Oh, that's probably
you like that deep dish 40. You order it they're like, it'll be ready in an hour. You're like, what? It takes that long to cook,
right?
Okay, so you ever been to Tomatoes of Pizza?
I have. Is that the one?
14 in Middlebelt.
No.
Halstead and Grand River too.
I have not.
Oh my God. Okay, first of all, Gary, we're gonna have to educate you. And
I told my friends we were going to talk about food somehow.
We're going to graduate you to the next level pizza.
Okay.
There's a pie, and then there's a pie. So, Little Caesars, Jets, Hungry Howie's, those are your standard fare pizza. And you can shush those, meaning you can juice them up a little and get a decent pizza. You got to order it well done. You got to get the sauce this way. Then you go to the next level pizza, right? Where it's a local place, not a chain. And owner-operator like this guy, Andy's, I am sure that it's a good pizza place, right? Tony's Pizza in Troy. My guy Sarge tells me where the pepperoni curl up, right? Put the pepperoni on top and it curls up and the grease is inside. That's a sign of a good pizza joint. Louis in Hazel Park. So says Aaron from Madison Heights.
Vizzy's in Westland is also a top-notch pizza place.
Best pizza, Green Lantern. So Green Lantern is called VIP, like prime pizza. Have you ever been to Green Lantern?
No.
Oh my God, Gary, where are you? You living in a box?
I was,
you're moving, so you must be.
I was sheltered north of 10 Mile. I didn't go to a lot. I lived in Westland and Canton for years.
Is there good pizza in Westland?
Yeah,
cardboard pizza. Okay, so here's the thing: top 3 pizzas. Green Lantern, not in any order. Green Lantern, Tomatoes of Pizza, and Buddies. Literally. Okay, Louis in Hazel Park is an original Green Lantern is, and it's but they are an offshoot of Buddies, or Buddies is an offshoot for them. I can't remember.
We might have to pick something and then come back on the next show, and then we can critique it.
I'm in. Pizza review time. In fact, you and I have lunch plans anyways coming up. Want to do pizza lunch?
Sure.
I want to do dinner.
Even though you still threatened that you're going to take me to Stage Deli, that you haven't taken me yet either. So.
Oh, that's what actually is on the calendar is the lunch at Stage. All right, so let's do Stage. Want to do a pizza day? Or you want to do Stage for lunch, pizza
You
for
can
dinner?
afford a pizza day. I can't.
Oh, my God. Tormina's in Westland. There you go.
Lou
Thomas
Tormina,
is-
great guy, great
Yeah, no,
community
good
activist.
food. Yeah, that's good actually. Tormina's is good. I actually forgot about that one. All right, so good pizza, right? Home improvement and pizza. And let me tell you how home improvement meets pizza. Okay, you ready? The average kitchen remodel takes 12 weeks. Your kitchen's destroyed for 12 weeks. That's 3 months. What are you going to do? You're going to go out to eat. You're going to get pizza. Most of the time, right?
Right.
Oh, my God, Gary. Maybe we should do a food show.
Everybody eats pizza. So, it's
So, listen, back to why we talked about pizza. Day one is the decluttering. Day two is the move. Day three, the unpack with the pizza dinner. I think that's a great gift, a VIP move. What's an average move cost today? Is there an average cost? $1,500, $2,500? What is it?
no, I would probably say in the $700 to $900 range.
That's it?
Again, depends if you're talking a house or an apartment. I mean, on an apartment, you're talking less. I mean, you're talking $400 to $500 for an apartment. There's a lot of factors involved. Weather, what floor is the apartment on? Is there an elevator? How long is the walk to the apartment from the elevator? There's so many factors involved in a move, whether it's a house or a apartment. There really is not a typical.
Okay. I didn't know. That's what I want to make sure. So, Gary, we have a special for homeowners as we wrap it up?
In the wintertime, yeah, we do a 3-man special rate, which is you get a discount on the third man, which is going to save you money off your bill. It's going to keep my guys out of the elements, even though it's been Indian summer around here. Okay. If you don't need 3 men for whatever reason, you can get $25 off your travel time or $50 worth of free boxes.
Perfect. Go to menonthemove.com, right?
MichiganMovers.com.
Oh, MichiganMovers.com. 734-744-9547, or just visit HireItDone.com. I'll send them to you. Gary, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you, Adam.
See you again
Appreciate it.
soon. I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network. Welcome back to the Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. First, I want to take a quick moment to talk to you about the Salt Sale Saturdays at Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions in Brighton. And now they have a new location open in Waterford. Every Saturday, you can get DuraCube regular at an unbelievably low $5.99 for a 40-pound bag, or the DuraCube Red Out for $6.99 a bag. And you can also get potassium chloride for $19.99 a bag, plus 5 gallons of bottled water for $2.99 each. So I would run over there and get it. It's a really good deal. You can't get it cheaper anywhere else. And that's important because, look, your water quality, we're going to be talking about it later today, is really important. But, of course, it's the holidays. And that means traveling, party planning, gift shopping, and stress. One thing you don't want to stress about all the time of year are utility bills. Why pay for more bills? Why pay more for your electrical bill, gas bill, whatever, when money's usually the tightest, right? You're spending it on holiday gifts. That's what you want to spend it on. That's why I've got some tips that you can use to keep those energy bills down all throughout this holiday season.
It's time for Going Green with Hire It Done. Brought to you by Consumers Energy, Business Energy Efficiency Programs.
I want you to switch to LED Christmas lights. That's the first thing we got to talk about, right? LED Christmas lights use 90% less electricity than regular Christmas lights. In fact, throw out your Christmas lights. I know you spent a lot of money and you finally, 10 years later, figured out how to roll them up, wind them up so they don't get tangled and all kinds of craziness, right? Well, that's the thing. Get rid of them. They came out with LED lights that use, listen to me, seriously, 90% less electricity. And it's like $10 a strand. You can't lose. Plus, today, the new LEDs can change colors. There's all kinds of stuff. They got them with an app. It's the right way to go. So it's time to throw the old out and start with the new. There's all kinds. You can blinking, bubble lights, all that kind of stuff. Now, what about fiber optic decorations? Is that a little advanced or something? Fiber optic trees and decorations are the ultimate in energy efficiency, and in most cases, they use a single light bulb located at the base of the unit to light the entire decoration. Yeah. Now, that's smart energy. Now, it's a little more expensive, but it's fun. How about limiting the time the lights are on? Oh, yeah, like not during the day. Wait until dark to turn your Christmas lights on, and then you can put a timer. Again, with an app, it works really a lot better. But if you have trouble remembering to turn the lights on and off, then an outlet timer or a smart outlet with a timer built in. It's easy. Sunlight, or even a sun sensor. There's a lot of ways to do it. Now, what about when the tree is lit? Should you turn the room lights down? It's the whole point. The lights on your Christmas tree provide more light than most homeowners expect. So try not to turn on your lamps or other lights in the evening until you actually need them. Listen, these are simple tips to save you some money. We want to be green, right? A few dollars. Every dollar saves, a dollar earned, right? How about decorating with candles? Candles are making a big comeback. Don't forget that candles are a great source of holiday ambience without the dark drawback of requiring electricity. You can set up luminaries along your walkway to light the way for your guests, or candles throughout. It's fun. Get the candles that don't give off too much smoke or whatever you want to call it, soot. How about turning the thermostat down when you have guests over? You're not trying to freeze them out, but another thing that homeowners often forget is that you don't necessarily need or even want to set the thermostat as high as you're used to. Every body in your house is 98-degree heat. 10 bodies, 10 people over, 5 people over. Listen, everyone's hanging out in the kitchen, right? Isn't that when you entertain people hang out in the kitchen? I think so. Maybe in the kitchen / dining room / family room.
Elsewhere, the Holiday Bowl, number 19, Iowa, 49-24. They rout number 22, Southern California. Cheez-It Bowl, number 24, Air Force, 31-21. They take down Washington State. In the Texas Bowl, it was the Aggies, 21-14. Make that 24-21 over number 25, Oklahoma State. Military Bowl, no contest. North Carolina, 55. Temple, 13. Fiesta Bowl tonight between number 2 Ohio State and number 3 Clemson. That's one of the semifinal games. Clemson, a 2-point favorite in that 8 p.m. kickoff, pitting the unbeaten Buckeyes and undefeated Tigers. Ohio State has won 19 straight, leads the country in scoring, while Clemson, they are defending national champions, riding a 28-game winning streak, and they have the nation's top defense. In the earlier semifinal game at 4 p.m., it's Oklahoma, about a 2-touchdown underdog against number 1 LSU. Meanwhile, the Pistons on the road tonight in San Antonio. You'll hear that in AM 950 WWJ. That's at 8 p.m. Red Wings also on the road at Florida, 7 p.m. right here on 97.1 The Ticket. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1 The Ticket or radio.com.
The Ram Big Finish event is here this holiday season, and Ram has a great gift for you. It's Employee Pricing Plus. Well, what does that mean? That means you're going to pay what a regular employee would pay on a vehicle. How great is that? Everybody listening to me right now gets Employee Pricing Plus. It doesn't matter where you work, a fireman, a construction worker, a waiter, a waitress, doesn't matter what your job is, because you're going to pay what an employee would get it for. The same price. One of the best times of the year to get a great deal. If you finance a Ram 1500 right now, you're going to get $9,700 below MSRP on the 2020 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4. That's with a V8 Hemi engine. You don't have to be an FCA employee to get this great offer, but you do have to get into your nearest Ram dealer today, because this offer ends January 2nd.
Target Steel is delivering like never before. Newly IATF certified and A2LA accredited, Target Steel is growing and ready to take on business big and small. Whatever your needs are, Target Steel will exceed your expectations. Target Steel is a family-owned and operated company, which means a great work environment, competitive pay, and great benefits. Adding over 40,000 square feet to the Flat Rock location means jobs in every department. Stop in and fill out an application or apply online at targetsteel.net. That's targetsteel.net. BlackRock.net.
Give the gift that sizzles this year. 755 degrees of sizzling satisfaction for your sweetie or Santa with Black Rock Bar and Grill. The hottest steakhouse around is the hottest spot for your holiday parties. And rock your Christmas Eve because Black Rock's open till 9. And remember, December is sweeter with Black Rock's specialty desserts with the white chocolate raspberry volcano and Reese's volcano ready to erupt. Give a gift that'll rock the holidays with Black Rock Bar and Grill, Michigan's hottest steakhouse.
What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com.
I'm Adam Helfman with Hire It Done. Here with some quick tips that you can use next time you're looking for a contractor. These tips are so crucial, I don't want anyone to hire a contractor before hearing this. Number one. We've been programmed to always get at least 3 bids, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I also want to give you permission to say yes when you find the contractor you want. Remember, it might be a few weeks or more before a good contractor is available to start working, and the sooner you decide, the sooner the project starts moving forward. Number 2. Ask the contractor to write down everything that's included. This forces the contractor to think what else is part of the project and what could potentially come up. Additionally, ask the contractor what is not included. This too will force the contractor to think about items of the project that may not be included. Number 3. Get it in writing for how long the job will take. Just understand that this is a reference, not an exact timeline, because no 2 houses or projects are the same. If you think you need a penalty clause for the job taking too long, then be prepared for paying a bonus clause if the project finishes early. Number 4. Look for a contractor who's solution-minded. And what I mean by that is look for someone who identifies and solves problems instead of placing blame. Before you hire someone, ask what happens when a job goes wrong. Great contractors will have great answers. Number 5. You don't necessarily want to hire the cheapest or the most expensive contractor. The cheapest contractors are more likely to cut corners, while the most expensive are not necessarily performing the best work. That's why more often than not, the best value comes from contractors who are priced in the middle of the road. If you like these tips, I've got a whole hour of home improvement advice coming your way. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com. When there's work to be done around or in your home, when there's money to be spent, you don't want to go wrong. What you don't know can hurt you. We're people you can trust. Oh, get advice from us. What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com.
Yes, that's right. It's the weekend. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. It's a great Saturday. Last Saturday of the year. What's on your plan, 2020? Well, there's a lot going on next year. And so let me give you the economic update for 2020 in the home improvement business. Since it's an election year, the economy is going to be good. The renovation business is going to be booming like it has been for the last couple of years. Finding good contractors, good luck. Even Hire It Done has trouble finding good contractors. My contractors are the best. However, they're busy. So what does that mean to you, the homeowner? If you're thinking of doing a renovation project, start now. Landscaping, get on the schedule now. Kitchen, bath, basement remodeling, call the best. A roof, that's the one thing we can get to you in a couple of days. I have the best roofers. I know that a lot of people out there, oh, you think you have the best roofer? Listen, let me say this. There are a lot of good roofers out there. Even guys that are not part of Hire It Done, there's good roofers. I could tell you a dozen of them. And there's a lot of, for every good roofer, there's 10 bad ones. So as a homeowner, what do? How do you know the pricing's correct? You know, you see the advertisements on TV, half off labor, 2 for 1, 99 cents a foot. What is all that fuzzy math? It's a bunch of garbage. You want a good roof? How about one that doesn't leak? How about one that lasts 50 years? At Hire It Done, that's what you get. We guarantee it. My contractors guarantee it. And they're as good or better than everyone else out there. It's that simple. You know who my contractors are. A lot of people say, oh, this and that. Well, they have to pass the pre-screening to even get in the Hire It Done. That's why we don't have every roofer in there. And a lot of roofers are scared to compete. I have a crybaby roofer that doesn't participate in Hire It Done because he thinks that the pricing is going to go down. I said, go down. It's called competition, dummy. The pricing goes down because people are competing for your business. That's why. Homeowners win. The roofers compete, the homeowners win. I should call him Roof 2 because he's not even close to 1. That's the best part about it. The guy's a complete moron and a troublemaker, stirs the pot. Anyways, I digress. If you want a roof that doesn't leak, just go to hireitdone.com. I guarantee you my roofers are better than 99% out there. So what does that mean to you? Well, it means that if you want hassle-free home improvement, that's why I exist. If there were all great contractors and there were no bad contractors, Hire It Done would not exist. That's the best part about it. So now we know that I exist. It's where you find good contractors. That's all. And what helps you with that is my advice. Personally, I'm local. I'm accessible. Email me. I'll return your call. Adam@hireitdone.com. How hard is that? Simple, right? Nothing's simple, but that's the way it is. So we have some really good things. We have trends in finished basements that we're going to be talking about. I've got Running Right Heating and Cooling are going to be joining me at 8:30. And right now we're going to do home hacks. This is our specialty holiday theme version of home hacks. And home hacks is a great fun segment I like to do here. So I know a lot of people are going to be putting away your holiday decorations soon. It's like a chore. Oh, I wait till after New Year's, right? But here's a few tips for everyone out there on packing your holiday decorations. First of all, wrap your Christmas lights around a plastic hanger or around cardboard rectangles to avoid them from getting all tangled up in a box. So those gifts that you got, cut off the little flap at the top and wrap your Christmas lights around it. It's actually a good idea. How about red Solo cups? Everyone's got red Solo cups for drinking beer. Mine are for Diet Coke. Use those as dividers for ornaments. Add a little tissue paper for fragile glass ornaments. Yeah. How about them apples? That ain't so bad. Here's another tip. Speaking of tissue paper, if you have extra tissue paper hanging on a plastic hanger, it's a great way to ensure it stays in good shape for next time you need it. Oh, what about the clips? How do you hang it? Got to get those little clips, right? An empty paper towel holder is the perfect space-saving hack for storing extra spools of ribbon. So when you're not a crafty home crafter. If you are, great. But if you need this stuff, this makes sense. I think this one's a lot of people know about, but it works great. And that's to pack smaller Christmas ornaments in an egg carton. That's actually a good one, too. So if you save all this stuff. How about wrapping paper is always a tough one because people never know where to store the rolls of wrap paper. Is there enough left? If you have a little bit, what do you do with it? How about this? The easiest way to store wrapping paper is to use curtain rings to give each roll a hanger. Then you can simply hang them on some clothing hooks, maybe on the inside of a utility closet door. I never thought of that one. That's not a bad one. I know a lot of people traveling over the next several days, so here are a few travel tips. Okay, this is a good one. How about frozen locks? This is a good tip for frozen locks, especially if you're away from home and maybe driving a rental car. A little bit of hand sanitizer on your key ring should melt a frozen lock as long as it's not too badly frozen. So hand sanitizer is alcohol, right? Alcohol in a lock will get the ice loosened up. That's a good one. Another travel tip, if you end up with a frozen windshield and you don't have an ice scraper, you can use an old credit card or a plastic spatula to clear the ice away. Yuck. How about getting a heated windshield? That's even better. Auto start. Something like that is the best way to go. Of course, we still have New Year's coming up. And when you're traveling, heading out in state on New Year's Eve party, spending time at home with your family, stay safe and enjoy the holidays. Coming up next, I'm going to be looking at some recent trends in finished basements. It's kind of an interesting topic, to be honest with you. I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network.
Having my own restaurant is everything I've worked for.
Good morning. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. So you buy a house. You don't want to renovate your bathroom. You don't want to rip it out. You like the way it is, but the tile doesn't look so great. The grout has got like what I call in the hire it done language. It's got lots of schmutz and lots of skuts. How do you get rid of that? You can go to a local hardware store and buy grout cleaner and this and that and some brushes and get on your hands and knees and really take a hard stab at it. And you might get some results, but then, a couple weeks later, it gets right back to the drabby old gross, double gross look. So what do you do? Who do you call? Is there a pro out there? Well, guess what? Lucky for you, my listeners, there is. And the name of the company is called the Grout Doctor. And so joining me live in the Hire Done studio is David Wagner from the Grout Doctor. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Adam. Thanks for having me in.
I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in, my friend. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
It has been. It's been a while.
So tell the Hire It Done audience a little history about the Grout Doctor.
Grout Doctor started about 25, 30 years ago in California, and it was a tile contractor who realized that people kept coming up to him and asking about repair work, and he realized there was a business model out there. So he was about ready to retire and wanted to get into something a little easier than installing tiles, so he started taking on these projects, and then from there he started franchising, and we're about 100 locations around the country now.
Oh, wow. So you cover all of Metro Detroit?
I cover Macomb, Oakland. I hit Wayne County running that 275 corridor. I don't make it out to Ann Arbor too often. Not a lot of business for us because of the age of the homes in Detroit. I don't make downriver.
Okay. But still hit the majority of the areas.
Yeah, we're pretty targeted.
So when someone calls you up, what is the number one thing they're looking for?
Well, a lot of times I get a call and they say, oh, it's dirty. Well, it's typically, it might be dirty and might be able to clean it, but we don't like doing cleaning that 2 weeks later it's going to be bad again. So what we specialize in is we're the handyman for tile and grout. I want to go in, regrout a bathroom where we'll remove and replace the grout. Quite often that's what we'll have to do. I mean, if it's just a simple, let's clean it up and caulk it, we'll do that too. We also have a process called color sealing, where we'll come in and we'll stain the grout back to a good color. It's a grout stain. And we can get into why you would grout stain. But I can take black and make it white, or white and make it black, or we can go with whatever the original color is, and it puts a nice protective coating on it.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Finished basements are at an all-time high of popularity. Whether they need more entertaining space, additional living areas, more and more homeowners are looking to their basements to accommodate their needs. I know that because we get a lot of requests for that. I've been getting a lot of questions for ideas and trends in designing finished basements. Where do people go? Who do you talk to? Well, I'm not a big fan of trend chasing in renovation. I'm more about you doing your own renovation for your own satisfaction, to be honest. However, I think there are certain timeless trends that can be a great sharing and starting point for coming up with your own ideas. And I recently sat down with Steve Iverson of Finished Basements Plus. He's one of our contractors, probably the leader in the finished basement business, to get a better idea of some of the ideas that are popular with homeowners going into the new year. And if you talk to Steve, you'll know he's like 6 months backed up in work. So like I say, if you want a good contractor, like if you want your basement done, he's like one of the best, you're going to have to call him now and see if you can get in and get your project started soon. But here's what Steve had to say with me on basement trends and stuff. He said the open concept isn't going anywhere. One of the first things Steve mentioned to me is that the open concept design is going to remain popular choice. And what does that mean? It's popular in every remodeling project from living rooms to kitchens, so it's no surprise to hear that Steve uses it in basements. Part of the reason is that basements typically have natural expansiveness to them, so an open concept really allows for you to take full advantage of the available space. Well, what is the impedance? Well, you got, stanchions. You got, structural poles, whatever you want to call it. Homeowners love the idea of an open, multi-purpose space where the family can go and be together. And that's the thing. An open size, one-ended kitchen, there's a lot you can do. Make your finished basement an extension of your home. In the old days, the basement was often considered separate from the home, which led to a lot of wood paneling, questionable wallpaper choices, drop ceilings, musty, moldy, smelly, gross storage, right? Today, homeowners consider the basement more of an extension of the upstairs. We call it a lower level now. Taking that basement staircase and ripping one of the sides of the walls out to open it up. The finishing, the colors, the flooring, and overall style don't drastically change when you enter the most finished basements today. Most homeowners are opting to drywall the ceiling. Before, if you have a plumbing leak, you have this, you have that. Well, what do you mean? That's what we used to do. We'd say, use a drop ceiling, easy access. You know what? No. Today, take a picture, email it to yourself of where the plumbing is. And that's the best part. You don't have to worry about it. Drywall, and if it leaks, you fix it. Big deal. Now, what are some of the popular items? Home theater. Home theaters remain popular, though, according to Steve Iverson, there's a trend that might be seeing a bit of a decline. Enclosed theater spaces are less popular than they were 10 years ago. Yeah, so that theater room with the 3 levels of seats, it's not as popular as the open forum with the big sectional couch. For a lot of homeowners, the novelty's worn off, and they'd rather have a more functional open TV space for more enthusiasts, right? Surround sounds good. Watching sports, playing video games. That's the bottom line. I think homeowners who want to do that should make sure that they have the right internet, the right streaming, the right, ability to change channels and not have buffering. That's what I like. And we have some great home theater contractors, part of Hire It Done, which is good. So we're going to be talking a lot about that in 2020. How about a home gym? Most homeowners love a home gym. The basement has always been a perfect place for a home gym. Of course, it's where most homeowners have the space for workout equipment anyways. So home gyms are arguably more popular than ever with how popular health and fitness has become. Everyone wants to be in good shape, right? Isn't that the number one New Year's resolution? I like going out of my house to a gym. That's my thing. But, listen, most homeowners, if they can do it at home and you don't hang your clothes on the treadmill, then you're ahead of the game. But a home gym planned properly with mirrors on the walls, a rubber floor, maybe a yoga bar or something like that, that's what, Finished Basements Plus, they'll help you design that, the right space. Now, a walkout basement's always fun. Renovating your basement into a walkout basement involves exposing one side of it so that you can build a door, windows, door wall, whatever, and to be able to walk out. That's the best part. This often is seen in houses on slopes or hills, but can also be performed on a traditional submerged basement. You can do it. I've done it in the past. In fact, I've taken a house that was on a crawl space and made a full basement out of it. Trust me, it wasn't easy, but I did it. But here's the thing. It's a trend where homeowners are using their basements more and more of an extension of their home's living area. In addition to being able to access your basement from the outside, more of natural light will stream in, which makes it a lower level living, turning your dark, damp area into a viable living space, of course. And if you're planning to sell, it can occasionally boost the value of your home. One of the things I want you to know is, how about a real estate agent? We should get a real estate agent on it. Greg Grapsidis of The Landscaper, he's one of our contractors. His wife's a real estate agent. I'm going to bring her on, Sarah Sells. We're going to talk to her about what the right renovations are to add value to your home. If anyone knows a good real estate agent also, text me 97136. We're looking to add real estate to our our portfolio. Listen, from the home improvement perspective, that's the key. From the home improvement perspective. So that's what we want to do. And that's how we do it, of course. Now, what about a secret door or a speakeasy? Kind of cool, right? According to Steve Iverson from Finished Basements Plus, one trend that goes against homeowners' love of open integrated spaces is the speakeasy. This is the idea of a hidden door revealing a small sitting room like a cigar, wine, or poker room, or a dungeon. Dun, 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 dun. It can be as simple as a door that's not clearly marked to something more elaborate, such as a bookshelf that conceals a hidden door. That's what I like. The speakeasy is one place where a lot of homeowners are breaking the rules. Privacy matters in this situation, and getting more creative and expressive in their designs. That's a good one. I really like that. So the key here is finding really good home improvement contractors to do that. If you want to finish your basement, go to hireitdone.com. We have Steve Iverson and his whole crew. It's that easy. We have fun with it. That's the whole point. So if you want to do that, then just let me know. Yeah, Greg Grapsidis, he's listening. Sarah Sells is one of the best. We're going to have her on this coming year. We're going to talk about trends in real estate, things like that. So it's always a good thing, all right? Anyways, what do you got on your home improvement plan? Are you planning a good home improvement project? Are you planning on moving? How do you know if you want to move or you want to remodel, move or improve, right? Think about that. If you want to get a landscaping project done this year, you should call now. Call the landscaper now. The reason why I say that is because you want to get on the calendar. You want the calendar to be right there when you're ready. Don't call them in May when you need your June graduation party done. Call them now and get on the schedule. Plus, you get off-season discounts. That's the best part. Just go to hireitdone.com. Coming up next, we got heating and cooling tips. I got Gary Shelly and Andy Perlin from Running Right Heating and Cooling. We're going to talk about what's the best furnace for your house. It's exciting. You finally got, it's cold out. Let's warm it up in the studio because it's getting hot in here. My name's Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network.
When there's work to be done around or in your home, when there's money to be spent, you don't want to go wrong. We're people you can trust. Oh, get advice from us. What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com.
Good morning. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. It's a great morning. It's funny how people think, just because you're a licensed roofer, let's use that as an example, and you've been working for years not being licensed, and all of a sudden you become licensed, that you're as good as anyone else. There's so many components in becoming a good contractor. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're licensed and insured doesn't mean you're good. It's a balance. It's a combination of all the ingredients of success. Are you solution-minded? Are you going to solve problems or are you going to blame other people? Are you customer-oriented? Do you have bedside manner that actually talks to a homeowner the way it should be? I mean, I have a friend who just bought a house in Royal Oak, custom home. Shy of $1 million in Royal Oak. Beautiful house. The builder, the owner, great guy. His project manager's walking through doing a punch list and he has no bedside manner, rude, dismissive, talks down to the homeowner. And I'm there and I'm thinking to myself, what the hell? This guy is single-handedly ruining the builder's reputation. And you would think that the owner and the builder would address this. And so I just told my friend, I said, listen, keep your mouth shut. Let the guy do what he's going to do. And then let the action speak louder than the words. But at the end of the day, when you're done and you're satisfied, which you will be, tell the builder. Say, hey, I got to talk to you. Your guy did this, 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 and this. And you can say to the builder, look, in today's society where people put reviews and homeowners base their selection of the builder based on the other homeowners, this guy doesn't realize he's playing with fire. His project manager is talking in a way that the homeowner's like, I don't want to be even, I would never have bought a house if I knew this guy was going to be the one talking to me. It's not right.
Program, whether it's for a few canned goods or a monetary donation. In the end, it will not matter what you get, but what you gave. Call 248-356-6350 to help today.
Hi, Samantha here with Henderson Glass, your Michigan glass expert since 1915. Did you know that repairing or replacing your windshield is vital to the safety and structural integrity of your vehicle? If weakened due to untended damage, it will not provide optimal protection in an accident. Henderson Glass deals with all major insurance companies, so we can help you file your claim. And for your convenience, we provide free mobile service. Don't delay repairing your windshield. Call us at 1-800-ASK-GLASS or visit hendersonglass.com.
Capone Sports Bar in St. Clair Shores. The premier East Side sports bar on Harper between 9 and 10 Mile. Over 32 taps. Catch the game on dozens of screens or kick back on the patio. Pool tables, darts, arcade games. Full menu with American classics and Capone's signature dishes. Capone'sBar.com. Find Capone's on Facebook. Not just a bar, a destination. The premier East Side sports bar. Capone Sports Bar in St. Clair Shores.
The Detroit Pistons play the San Antonio Spurs. Pre-game tonight at 8:05 on News Radio 950 WWJ.
What you don't know can hurt you. HireItDone.com.
Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name is Adam Helfman, resident home improvement expert, fourth generation contractor, having a great holiday season. It's the last Saturday of the decade, right?
Yep.
Whoa. How about them apples? So finally we have some cold weather. Let's turn the heat on, right? And all of a sudden it's not working. Or you hear a big bang, you hear this explosion noise. What are you going to do? How do you handle that? Well, just take a deep breath and know that you're in good hands. In studio right now is Gary Shelly and Andrew Perlin from Running Right Heating and Cooling out of Livonia, Michigan. Good morning, guys.
Good morning,
Adam.
Gary, how you been, man?
Doing great.
Busy, right?
It's a busy season for us still.
2020 or 2019 a good year for you?
Good year. We had a good year. It was a lot of people upgrading equipment and new additions, ductwork, whatnot, things like that. So
yeah, nothing slows you guys down. Andrew, 2020 looking on the board to look good?
Yep, we're doing things that are already
you backed up. I know that because you guys got a lot of things on the schedule. So all right, so let's talk about turning your furnace on for the first time. Obviously, people have had it on up. We've had a warm spell, but so now it's in the 20s. Heat's on. There's moving parts in a furnace. And Gary, obviously I always say the best furnace is the one that's installed properly, but if you want to maintain one, it's got to be maintained. What should be homeowners doing today to make sure the furnace is working smoothly?
Well, the main thing with the furnaces is a safety check on them, depending on the age of the furnace. If it's getting a little bit older, you want to make sure that it's safe and operating properly. There are maintenance items that cleaning the inside of it and whatnot that we can take care of for customers. One of the big things that needs maintenance on most systems is a humidifier. If you have that, they get forgotten and are not working well, and that's very important as far as comfort in the house with the humidification. So that's an important thing too.
So let's talk about humidifiers for a second, because you know what, it makes sense. Scratchy, dry, irritated nasal cavities. People wake up with a dry throat. They're stuffed up. A lot of that has to do with the air quality in the house, and a lot of it has to do with the humidification. Am I right?
Absolutely, because the furnace is actually what's drying the house out.
Well, hot air over air, heating it up.
You're drying it out.
Right, so you have to add moisture to it.
And so you need to put the humidity back in the air for comfort. It actually can save you money because you actually feel warmer when the humidity's hotter or higher, and then it makes you feel more comfortable. So it's actually a savings on energy also.
So let's do humidification 101 for homeowners. You got the summer and winter knob for most humidifiers. And then you've got that drum in there. That gets calcium, it gets calcified, it gets all kinds of schmutz, I call it. Schmutz and skuts.
They do.
And that, if they're not clean, will not let the water run through it. So explain for the listener what the humidifier does, that drum, because that's what most people have, right?
Well, the newer ones now, we've gotten away from the actual water laying in the bottom of the humidifier, which is what the drum types were.
And it gets all gross, that water.
It just all the calcium buildup and things that it can grow in the water when you leave it sitting around.
And then the air blows over that,
and
it's
you're
spreading
blowing all that
schmutz.
through the house. The
Oy.
newer models now have more of a kind of I call it a honeycomb type bee's hive looking pad that will just allow the water to run over it, and then the excess runs off. It picks up the humidity, the excess runs off. You don't have water laying in the bottom of it. But even those need maintenance too, because there's calcium buildup and whatnot in these things. So
you run hot water to those or cold water?
we run hot now. That changed probably about 15 years ago. We went from
Is that like a hack, like a secret tip?
yeah. Well, today, because most of the ones that we are replacing are on the cold side, and then you need to change it to the hot side to get better humidification. If the water's already hot, when it comes in, then you're gonna get more humidity out of it.
We're talking with Gary Shelly from Running Right Heating and Cooling, home improvement heating cooling expert, and we're talking specifically about humidification of your house with a humidifier. So now the new thing is can someone call you, by the way, and get you just to have replace the humidifier?
Absolutely. We do it this time of year. We were running specials on the humidifier replacements. If you did have one of the older ones that has the pad in it with the water laying in the bottom, we do recommend upgrading to the flow through now, and we're running a special on those at $50 off this time of year. So
Okay, so and you'll run you'll connect it to hot water.
and we would run it to the hot water, absolutely.
Okay, so that's cool. So humidification, now is there a percentage, some people have humidistats, some people have a hygrometer. That's how you measure humidity, folks, with a hygrometer. You can go to a local hardware store and get one for like $7-8. Is there a percentage that you think people should have their humidity in the house at so they can sleep better?
Well, it's we have to control it and the reason to control is to protect the house. If it was for us, we could be 50-60% in the house all year round, or for the wintertime, it'd be better for us. But the house can't stand that much humidity.
50% humidity would be water dripping
You'd
off
have
your
water
windows.
running off your windows and stuff. So we have to control it, and it's not so much for us; it's to protect the house because we run about 35 to 40% in the milder weather. When it gets extremely cold, you actually have to turn it down a little bit to protect the house. Is what you're doing.
So I tell homeowners 36%.
Yep.
That's the average I like. And here's the thing. If you've got water on your windowsills in your kitchen or in your rooms, that means your humidity is too high. So what you got to do is you got to play a little game and dial it back until the water dissipates. Now, humidification is very important as far as respiratory issues for homeowners. But you can't just humidify your house without the right air filter, right? Am I right, Gary?
No, absolutely. We do a lot of upgrades on air filters rather than the old fiberglass 1-inch throwaways. Now we get into a lot of the media filters and higher filtering from there also.
Okay, and that's what I thought. So can somebody call Running Right and have you guys do like a tune-up, a new humidifier, and new filters? And just
yeah,
make
with
them
us,
good?
with the furnace safety check and cleaning, they would look at the humidifier and air cleaning and make some recommendations as far as what we might like to see you upgrade to, give you some options on some things that you can do to make your system work a lot better for you, make it more comfortable in the house.
And that's the best part about it. So the phone number, if someone wants to call, you guys answering phones today?
Yep. 248-884-1704.
And that's from Andrew Perlin. Now, Andrew, what do you do for Running Right besides run every day?
Well, what don't I do other than the installations?
Right.
But yeah, I answer most of the calls that come in, and we, try when customers call to guide them in the proper direction. A lot of people will call in and say, my furnace is down. So the first things we'll try and do is say, have you looked at your batteries and your thermostat? Have you changed your filter on your furnace? A lot of people, just walking them through the first couple things may solve their problem before they have to spend money for us to come out and take care of it. But as Gary's been saying, I think, twice a year, have us come out, and take care of your systems, and you'll get an extra 5 years just by doing that.
What's it cost to do that?
$99. We'll come out, take a look at everything, and change your filter. And if you need humidifier pads or any of the other things, that would be extra.
Here, there's a text question that came in. I'm going to ask this one. It says, what is the pipe on my furnace? 12 years old that is running to the outside, not the PVC pipe. Silver duct, looks like a fresh air intake. Mine is disconnected halfway. Do I need this fully connected?
Well, there's two pipes that could be, and I wouldn't know for sure unless I saw the one, but there's two pipes that can come into the house. One is a fresh air pipe that would go to the ductwork and bring you outside air in so that you have some fresh air coming into the house regularly, which is important. You don't want to seal the house up 100% and not have any fresh air coming in. That's a negative. Or it could even be some combustion air, as we call it, because your furnace needs oxygen along with your water heater if it's next to it, which it normally is. And they bring in a pipe to bring in what we call combustion air. That's the oxygen for the flame to burn. So it could be either one. I'm not sure which one he has.
Okay, so you'd have to go out and look at it.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good question. But let me ask you this. With the homes being built today, or homeowners who listen to Hire Done and say, I need more insulation, they need some air sealing, and they get, their house tightened up. When a furnace turns on and the air combusts to make heat, the furnace is drawing air from the house, right? So
it is. Yes,
new technology is saying also get air from outside and mix it in?
Well, when you seal a house up 100%, then you don't bring fresh air in, there's a lot of other things that can happen as far as the quality of the air in the house. So it's good to have the house sealed up properly for efficiency reasons, but then you have to bring in some fresh air through a damper that we put in. We add those two to new systems. And that is but you also want, the thing about bringing that duct in is it's controlled because it has a damper in it that it doesn't allow too much air to come in, but enough to allow you to have fresh air in the house.
Which makes sense. And then, so if someone doesn't know any of this, they can give you a call. You guys can come out and straighten it all up, get them all back on the plan.
Absolutely. Anytime we come out with those, we take a look at the overall system and give you any recommendations that we think you might want to consider upgrading to.
Which is always a good thing. I'm cool with that. What's the first thing that breaks on a furnace when you get the call? Is it always like a number one broken furnace thing? You know what? Hold on before you answer because we have to take a break. When we come back, though, we're going to ask, what are the top 3 things breaking on a furnace that most homeowners should be aware of? We're going to do that when we come back. How's that? I'm Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network.
Having my own restaurant is everything I've worked for. So when I
HireItDone.com.
Good morning. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. So you buy a house. You don't want to renovate your bathroom. You don't want to rip it out. You like the way it is, but the tile doesn't look so great. The grout has got, like, what I call in the Hire It Done language, it's got lots of schmutz and lots of skuts. How do you get rid of that? You can go to a local hardware store and buy grout cleaner and this and that and some brushes and get on your hands and knees and really take a hard stab at it. And you might get some results, but then, a couple weeks later, it gets right back to the drabby old gross, double gross look. So what do you do? Who do you call? Is there a pro out there? Well, guess what? Lucky for you, my listeners, there is. And the name of the company is called the Grout Doctor. And so joining me live in the Hire It Done studio is David Wagner from the Grout Doctor. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Adam. Thanks for having me in.
I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in, my friend. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
It has been. It's been a while.
So tell the Hire It Done audience a little history about the Grout Doctor.
Grout Doctor started about 25, 30 years ago in California, and it was a tile contractor who realized that people kept coming up to him and asking about repair work, and he realized there was a business model out there. So he was about ready to retire and wanted to get into something a little easier than installing tiles. So he started taking on these projects, and then from there he started franchising, and we're about 100 locations around the country now.
Oh, wow. So you cover all of Metro Detroit?
I cover Macomb, Oakland. I hit Wayne County running that 275 corridor. I don't make it out to Ann Arbor too often. Not a lot of business for us because of the age of the homes in Detroit. I don't make downriver.
Okay.
So,
but still hit the majority of the areas.
Yeah, we're pretty targeted.
So when someone calls you up, what is the number one thing they're looking for?
Well, a lot of times I get a call and they say, oh, it's dirty. Well, it's typically, it might be dirty and might be able to clean it, but we don't like doing cleaning that 2 weeks later it's going to be bad again. So what we specialize in is we're the handyman for tile and grout. I want to go in, regrout a bathroom where we'll remove and replace the grout. Quite often that's what we'll have to do. I mean, if it's just a simple, let's clean it up and caulk it, we'll do that too. We also have a process called color sealing, where we'll come in and we'll stain the grout back to a good color. It's a grout stain. And we can get into why you would grout stain. But I can take black and make it white, or white and make it black, or we can go with whatever the original color is, and it puts a nice protective coating on it. Regrout a bathroom? We also, we'll do something as small as caulk a backsplash. Somebody's, separating this time of year.
So any kind of thing that regarding tile, backsplash, grout in a bathroom, you can look at and attend to.
Anywhere in the house. We're the handyman for tile and grout.
What about people who have like the tile that needs to be polished?
We don't do that. I will recommend. There's a lot of good people out there. There's a lot of people I wouldn't recommend.
Okay.
And it's nice to get a good referral on that.
Always. Yeah, that's enough. Okay, so
we will clean.
This is Hired Done. My name's Adam Helfman. If you have any questions, you can always email me, adam@hireddone.com. Anyways, we've got Gary Shelly and Andrew Perlin from Running Right Heating, Cooling, and Studio. And the question is, what are the top items that break on a furnace when a homeowner calls you? And, of course, a furnace always breaks on the weekend when it's the coldest day of the year. Murphy's Law is always overlooking at that. So, Gary, tell me, what are your thoughts?
Well, most of the furnaces today have two motors on them, and the motors can fail. It can be something as simple as an igniter that may go bad, which isn't a major issue. Sometimes even just cleaning what we'd call a sensor in there. There's most of the issues that you have with the furnace can be related to the safety portion of it, because it's always checking things that are going on in the furnace to make sure it's safe. If not, it'll shut it off. If the control board doesn't like what it's seeing inside the furnace temperature, or the flame didn't light, it'll just shut the unit down, and that's when you need service, obviously.
Clearly. So that's important. Is those expensive things to fix?
Well, a lot of those can be corrected ahead of time. That's why a good maintenance check on the thing to kind of see how things are going, clean the sensor, take a look at the igniter, see how old it is, listen to the motors, see if they sound like, because a lot of times they'll give you some warning that they're going to go bad. They'll start making noise and let you know a little bit ahead of time, and you may not even hear it upstairs, but it may not sound right to our technician, and they might recommend doing it before it breaks on that weekend when it's a lot tougher to get somebody out.
So someone can call you for a furnace tune-up, and in the tune-up they can check all that stuff.
We can look at those things, and in a lot of cases you can see things that may be going wrong, and that's a lot of what's happening. Two things on a checkup is safety, to make sure it's safe, and the other thing is to see if we can see anything that may be coming up in the future that might fail on you, and get it done before it happens.
Well, that's the best way, preventative.
Yes.
Well, everyone wants that. That's interesting. It's interesting. So at what point does a homeowner who has a furnace, let's say it's been doing fine for 15 years, let's say it's from the 90s or the late 2000s, what do they do? When do you decide it's a new furnace as opposed to repairing it? Is there a rule of thumb? Is there a formula? Because I have my own idea, but I'm just wondering, what do you guys tell a homeowner?
Typically, I mean, if the cost of the repairs are, a third to a half of what it is to purchase a new one, I think you move forward with the new one with rebates and things that are out there to upgrade. You'll get some of your money back just in the savings of the energy bills. But, we try and take into account, people's budgets and work with them accordingly.
Well, it makes perfect sense, and that's what I thought. Gary, what is your advice?
Well, we look at the same thing. If you start getting into putting in, an exorbitant amount of money into an older furnace, is the payback going to be there for you? Because even though you may replace one or two parts in there, you've still got all the other parts that are probably older and can have issues. And then if you did have an older unit with a heat exchanger that could fail you on you, then that would be something that would push it over the limit of repair. But as Andrew was saying, the upgrade to the new one is typically going to be a more efficient furnace, and always is, and the payback can be there along with what you may have needed to spend on the other one just to get it up and running.
Right. Well, that's the whole point. So there's got to be like a threshold. So I was told, and you guys tell me, right? So let's say a new high efficiency furnace today, the latest and greatest one to save money, is $5,000. Is that a fair? Is that following that?
Yeah. You're going to be in that neighborhood. Yeah.
Okay. So if the repair is 30% of that, which is $1,500. So if you have a $1,500 furnace repair, that point is the tipping point where you should say, all right, now it's time to consider a new furnace.
Correct.
Now, when someone needs a new furnace, Gary, do you recommend a highest efficiency available, or does it depend?
Well, obviously, it would be something to do with the budget, obviously, that part of it, because the higher efficiency ones are more expensive, but their payback is there. We always offer that and do promote those higher efficiency ones for better comfort and overall efficiency of the system. So the payback is normally there for the higher efficiency furnaces. And then today, with the utilities, have rebates that will apply to those, which will offset the cost a little bit also on the higher efficiency furnaces.
Now, let me ask you a question. How leaky ducts, the ductwork in a house, now newer code says you have to seal them when you're putting in a new construction and all that, correct, which increases efficiency as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, and because a lot of times that those leaks and things can be going into areas that aren't doing you any good as far as a loss.
Basements.
So let me ask you, what if you have an existing house and you know there's leaky ductwork? Is there something you guys can do to help seal up ductwork?
Yep.
Well, we would take a look at what the system looks like as far as if we feel that it's worth getting into that. Some homes, depending on where the ductwork's located, it may not be a good thing to spend money on something like that. But we would look at the system. We can tell you whether the duct sealing would be a good thing for you.
Is our duct blaster? Do you guys ever do any of that stuff at all? Or?
Well, we don't actually get into the sealing of it. There are systems out there now that they use to seal it from the inside.
Is it like Aero Seal, Aero Gel?
Yes, there's a couple different brand names out there right now.
It's never really taken off.
No, I don't. I haven't heard a lot about it. I've seen presentations on it and that, and I think it's better in a situation where your ductwork might be in what we call an unconditioned space, where maybe it might be in an attic or crawl space, something like that. You don't want to lose the heat to there. I'm not sure that the cost for that, and I don't know all the numbers on it, but maybe in a basement application where your ductwork's in the basement, it might not pay off for you there. But I would say something like that would definitely pay off if you have ductwork in unconditioned space, which would be the attic or crawl space, something like that.
So what happens if you have like a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house and then the kids are away? Do you recommend the homeowners shut the vents in the bedrooms that they don't use?
Well, I wouldn't. I don't like to see people turn off too many of them. Maybe 1 or 2 is okay. But if you start closing too many of the registers, the furnace along with the air conditioning needs a certain amount of air flowing through it to operate properly.
Okay.
And it can actually cut back on what's going to happen with the furnace. And a lot of these newer ones now are a lot more sensitive to overheating and whatnot because the manufacturers don't want them overheating for obvious reasons. It's not good for it, and it'll end up shutting it down. So if you close too many registers off, then you can start having some issues with the furnace. So 1 or 2 is fine, but I wouldn't get too crazy with closing off too many.
Okay, and that's good advice. I wasn't sure. Now, what about technology today? As things get more smart home, everyone wants the Wi-Fi thermostat. Is there a brand you recommend, or if someone went and got one over the holidays, they're doing all the smart home stuff, can you install it for them?
Yeah, the two that we use are.
We use Sensi Wi-Fi, which is it'll give you your humidity reading, and
Is there an adapter that?
It comes over the phone and it'll give you your humidity reading and then your temperature in the house.
Even better, and you can adjust it up and down.
And then we use Ecobee.
Okay, Ecobee. That's connected to everyone else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is smart. So you guys can do it. Now, what happens what brand furnaces are you guys selling?
We use the Rude brand. Rude is our main line, and then we use a Goodman line too.
Okay, so let's just use Red for example. Okay. Rude has their own. Do they have their own Wi-Fi thermostat that talks to their equipment?
Well, you get into the higher end equipment. For most of the manufacturers, they have what they call the communicating thermostats that talk to their furnace and their air conditioner and control all that stuff internally. And yes, that when you get into that's called the communicating, you have to use their products for that, which most of the manufacturers, as Rude does, have that available also as in their higher end product. It's usually on the top of the line product that the communicating features are available.
Okay, and so when someone's buying a new furnace, do you recommend them getting the brand thermostat with the furnace?
Well, we normally, when you want to go into any kind of Wi-Fi thermostat, we would offer the Sensi, which is a Emerson product, or the Ecobee. The communicating is a higher end one that's an option, but then the air conditioner, the furnace, and the thermostat all have to be the same line to be able to communicate to each other.
Running Right Heating and Cooling, 248-884-1704. You're open today. I highly urge people to get a tune-up, get the humidifier you have it on special. Andrew and Gary, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yes.
Yep. Happy New Year, Adam.
You agree with this? The best furnace is the one that's installed properly?
That is so true, because a lot of people get with advertising and whatnot, they get their a brand stuck in their head, but
so they don't know.
You can take a good furnace and make it bad by not installing it properly. So.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
We'll see you next year. Hire It Done's on fire. That's what I'm telling you. I'm Adam Helfman. This is the Hire It Done Radio Network.